This is Escape from Camp 14, Chapter 10 Analysis. Now, in this part of the book, Sin is 15 years of age, and he is now working on a dam, a hydroelectric dam, um, near the Tangun River. And for this whole year, he's been eating 3 square meals a day, and the workers are treated considerably well while working for this dam because the project is pretty important to the whole camp. Um, so while working, um, he sees a concrete wall starting to collapse, and there's about 8 people under it, and the wall collapses, and even though he warned the people, it still collapses, leading to the people's death. Uh, but this next part here has meaning to it. It seems like the guards told him to go pick up the bodies and continue working, showing that the guards have no remorse and just they have one thing in mind, which is the end product of the dam, meaning that their mindset has just is just on getting work done, and getting work done, going back and going home, and continuing the cycle. So the reason for this dam being built was because North Korea in general doesn't have good electricity, and they needed these hydraulic dams to be able to receive some electricity. But the thing is that most of their fuel has been coming from the Soviet Union, and during this time, North Korea wasn't in good waters with the Soviet Union, and the dams usually prevented uh, total starvation in North Korea. So using now that the dams are coming into play, they could use it for food and other things like that, power and everything like that. Um, so so North Korea had been solely relying on foreign aid throughout the second half of the 20th century. So they needed some way to power themselves in order to you could say, yeah, could be self-reliant instead of needing other countries to help them. And the North Korea government has been, pumping in propaganda, and the propaganda is trying to convince its people to enjoy and celebrate the country's famine and energy crisis, and that would sort of give them more energy or more like willingness to work on the dams so they could help the country overall. But the thing was is that the people in the camps that were working on the dams didn't receive they received real minimum treatment and didn't really um, seek any motivation to be able to work on the dam. But yet they still had to do it, or their lives to be taken away. Um, so the dam needed a lot of people to be worked on, and it needed a lot of people for the dam to be worked on. And people wanted to work on the dam because usually you would receive better food because you're revered to be hire really skilled workers to work on the dam. Um, but in July of 1998, a flash flood swept dozens of Sin's fellow workers. And Sin, like when the concrete wall fell on those people, was ordered to recover the dead bodies. And each body he found, he was given a portion of rice. And like I said before in my other recordings, rice was you could say, a luxury. And receiving rice was, you could say, a high reward. He was also forced to work in real bad conditions, like freezing water, and he had to pick out boulders that weighed a lot. But working on the dam was pretty much preferably he would prefer to work there than anywhere else because he received a bit more food. And this time was considered to be one of his happiest times of his teen years because he didn't really have to worry about him getting beat or anything like that. He's just him working, and he was left unbothered, which he enjoyed. Um, Also, he enjoyed more independence than the other camp workers, and because he wasn't allowed to walk anywhere within Camp 14 or when he wasn't working, so this benefited his cause. This concludes the analysis.